Well, we got to give the Lions a lot of credit. They came out ready to play, and they were able to finish the football game. I'm disappointed that we had an opportunity there going up 30-27. We couldn't get the stop, and then had other opportunities to go down and at least tie the game or potentially win it, and we didn't make the plays. And the one thing I told our guys is I was happy with the effort. It was great to see some guys that maybe might not have gotten as much time throughout the course of the season. Those are valuable reps. It was great to get a couple guys back, but no matter who's out there, the expectations don't change. And, we're about winning with the Green Bay Packers. We'll never just celebrate the effort. We gotta win, and we'll never accept losing. And that's just the mindset, the mentality. And I think our team has done a great job of in previous losses of bouncing back from them, and that's what I expect from our guys. And we'll take this week to kind of stay sharp mentally and hopefully heal up, rest up, and just keep our mind on ball, because we're at the point of the season now. You get one crack at it, man, and you got to make everything count. So we need everybody's best effort each and every day. We know nothing's going to be given to you. You have to earn everything you get. And so, we'll lick our wounds from this one, and we'll move forward.
Now that Dave's back and you don't have to sound like a broken record anymore, for how long has this day kind of been penciled in as the likely return date? Was it always kind of been the plan?
No, I think it definitely was not the plan. The plan was previous weeks, and that's why I kept telling you day to day, because we didn't really know. Obviously from a coaching perspective, you'd like it to be sooner, but like I told you guys all along, we weren't going to do that until everybody felt comfortable with where he was at. And, it's a big injury that he's coming off of. And I know this, it wasn't for a lack of work or want to. David has been grinding, been putting in the time. And it's just one of those things. It's not like cookie cutter where, hey, 8 months or 9 months. I think everybody's a little bit different. Everybody responds to things a little bit differently, and everybody's injuries are a little bit different. So it was great to get him back out there today. We'll take a look at the tape and, have a good plan for him moving forward, and hopefully, he can build upon this. But like I told him and Josh, there's no substitute for football shape, and I think it was good for them to be back out there, and like I said, hopefully we can build upon that.
Did he get through it okay, Matt? Did he get through it okay? And why did he come off?
Yeah, I think he just felt more fatigued than anything else. So I wouldn't say that it's anything that we're truly concerned about. But I think with anybody that is coming back, you got to see how you respond from this. Like, what does tomorrow look like? What does it feel like? We'll continue to work and monitor, and hopefully I can give you guys an update later.
So barring any setbacks with either of those two guys, do you feel pretty good about putting them in for a winner go home game? And do you think they can play a full game as long as there are no setbacks this week?
That's what I expect, but things change, so we'll take a look at it and we'll see how they feel and how they respond, and where they're at.
Here's being a rookie, he missed a lot of valuable snaps. What do you see with him that still makes him the guy that you want to go with in that setting?
Well, I think, we will reevaluate everything moving forward. But it was one of those deals where here's a guy that's had a long way off that we did not want to warm him up and then, pull or have him sit on the bench, get cold, have to rewarm him up, and then put him out there. It was one of those deals where we thought it was best to go transition from the warm-up to go play in the game, and then we'll see how long you can go. And there was not like we didn't necessarily have a exact pitch count on him. It was more, like I told you guys throughout the course of the week, we're going to play it by feel and see where he's at. And when he started to get fatigued, that's when we thought it was the best to pull him.
What about Corley? I'm not going forward for your next game.
Yeah, I'm saying we'll evaluate everything.
How was MBS's back doing, and do you have any concern?
I have no update on MBS right now. But obviously, anytime a guy goes out, you're definitely concerned about it.
Before, all week you said that among the goals was momentum and keeping that going and then getting all healthy. Taking those two things into perspective, how do you think today went?
Well, I might have a better perspective tomorrow. Right now, I think we're all competitors and we don't like losing, and that's it. It doesn't feel any different than any other game. When you lose, you're pissed off, and But I am happy in the fact that it seems that we got out fairly healthy.
Was there anything in particular you wanted to see out of Jordan today? You kind of evaluate his.
Yeah, how he plays every snap. So we'll take a look at the film.
Half with Aaron, did you hold your breath when he took some hits, and did you at all tell him, like, don't get that extra yard today, go down, or is it business as usual?
I hold my breath every time he gets hit. So, credit to Detroit. They had some pretty good stuff for us in terms of some of their pressures. I'm sure we'll definitely learn for those, and hopefully we can get that corrected before we go into the playoffs. I think I could have done a better job as a play caller of putting him in situations where we were in some of those empty formations on third down, and that's where some of our issues came.
Did it feel like seeing Devontae Adams get the franchise single season receiving there?
Yeah, that's a special moment for a special player. Obviously, anytime you're talking about franchise records, I think that's a pretty big deal. And I think that just speaks to who he is as a football player, the connection he has from Aaron, but also the other, 9 guys outside of those 2 guys on offense. Everybody's got a responsibility to do. And you can't obtain those records if everybody's not doing their 111th. And so I think it's a credit to everybody, but certainly he is a special football player. He is a generational talent. I think he and Aaron both, and we've got a lot of other great players on offense that allow that to happen.
You mentioned give guys reps. What did you think of the day Patrick Taylor had and the confidence Josiah Guar can take?
Yeah, that was great. I thought Patrick ran hard. Again, we'll have to take a look at the tape. Obviously, Josiah had the big play on the tight end screen. I don't even know how many yards it was, but he looked like he was moving pretty good on that one in the open field, and that's always good. And he got rocked earlier in the game, and he bounced back from that and was able to go in there and continue to compete. And that's what he is. He is a competitor.
Well, he said it was a play today. He said it was 2 trick plays today in hit games. He did make some substitutions on defense late in the game. What aspect of defense could you be most frustrated than giving up?
I would just say the consistency. Defense, football in general, comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens. And we cannot have that. We need all 11 doing their damn job. And if they don't, stuff like that happens.
We had a field for how long we kept there, and those guys in. Was the plan about a half today, or was it just, give them that second touchdown and kind of hitting on a high note that it felt like the goal there?
Yeah, he and I were in constant communication throughout the course of the game. I think, we were pretty well in tune going into the game in terms of when we would, take him out. And, I gave him a lot of the responsibility to tell me when, hey, I'm ready to come out now too. So it was definitely a collaborative thing between him and I in terms of just how long he was going to play.
Thank you, guys.
I'm not done yet.
If you are just going into the playoffs, I mean, you got a chance to go into this last game with nothing on the line if you wanted to win. You get a feel for where you are week 18 of the season.
It's tough to say right now. I think that's just there's a lot of areas where I think that we can still improve upon, and we'll try to look at everything this week. It's not your typical bye week. We're going to be working. We're going to give the guys off the next 2 days. They got to get a workout in, but we'll be practicing on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're going to be very efficient with our time, and we're not going to. It's not going to be like training camp grinding days. We're going to get them in and out, but there's certainly some things that we can improve upon. So we got to take advantage of that time and not only get better at certain things and clean up some stuff, but also just making sure that we stay sharp mentally and physically as well.
Matt, this is right after a loss, obviously, but the perspective of that, how do you weigh the accomplishment to this point versus what's ahead for the football team?
Well, there's always times to reflect and feel good, but bottom line is we're in single elimination play right now, and we're going to have to put everything into each and every game and take advantage of the opportunity. It is great having the road to the Super Bowl going through Lambeau, but as we learned last year, that doesn't guarantee anything. And we got to take advantage of being at home and playing in our climate. It's going to be great to have fans back in the stands. We're going to need everybody rocking and being as loud as they can to come and support us, because our guys feed off that, and it plays a huge part in this.
All those new pieces on that first drive, you threw up over 7 minutes, 13 plays, 74 yards. I mean, I know after that there's some things, but that first drive, is that exactly what you hoped when we came into this game with the new pieces?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it wasn't clean by any stretch. I mean, there were some critical downs that we had to convert on. There were still some things that we didn't do great on. But you got to give Detroit a lot of credit. Like I said, they came out. I knew they were going to come out and give us everything they have. You can see that on tape. Just they have definitely taken on the personality of Dan, and that's a credit to him. I've got a lot of respect for him, not only as watch him as a former player, but in this profession, I know those guys on that team believe in him, and they play hard, and that is evident on tape. So I told our guys, you better get your mind right, because they're coming after us.
Would Devondre and Aaron Jones have played if it was a playoff game? Was that more precautionary?
Yeah, that was definitely precautionary. I mean, I think those guys have been battling through some things, but we feel good about where they're at, and we just thought it was in the best interest, because there's such key pieces to our football team on both sides of the ball, and it just was probably in the best interest of those guys to let them heal up, get that extra week. There's some guys, and there's a lot of guys that we have a lot of faith that you could give them, the week off, like Aaron, Devontae. I wouldn't expect any I wouldn't expect them to have a lull in their play, but we thought that Aaron Jones and Dre were two of those guys like that. Kenny Clark. We got a lot of guys like that, but we just thought it was important for the most part to try to keep the momentum going. Obviously, coming up short, it stings a little bit, but I'm sure we got to have a quick memory. I told the guys, you got to hit the reset button and get back to work.
What did you see on Alan Lazar's second touchdown catch? You talked about how he's become such a big part of this offense, but to make another astounding catch like that, just what does that do as you guys go into the season?
I think that gives us a lot of confidence. I think that gives him a lot of confidence, and that's something that we always expect from him. We have high expectations for him, and he has high expectations for himself. And he's a guy that's proven time and time again that he can be trusted. And it's just about getting opportunity. When your number gets called, you make the plays, and he has proven, I would say, the majority of the time to come through for us.
Got a rough season injury-wise. Do you feel like that's kind of finally swinging back your way? And what do you think about just sort of the health and the time off that you'll get in this next week for your health for the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, but, injuries are something that unfortunately are a negative part of our game. And I just don't think you can sit there and just dwell on them. You got to move forward and try to get guys prepared. And I think that's been the mindset. Now it is great to obviously get some of these guys back healthy. And hopefully we can take advantage of this next week and get more guys healthy potentially, and allow some of our guys that are a little bit banged up to get a little bit more healthy and have some juice for the stretch run.
And that the goal this week was to win. You came here, took the win, and you're obviously not pleased with the loss. During the week, though, how much did you scale back the schematics in the game plan, knowing that you don't want to show anyone that you might be playing in 2 weeks what you got?
Yeah, I would say there's some of that certainly, but the bottom line is you're also you got to weigh and balance. You're trying to put your guys in position to go out there and have success. So I think to approach it any other way is a disservice to those guys that are out there on the field. So, I would say our preparation was the same as it was every other week in terms of the time and energy and effort that we put in. There were no shortcuts. Unfortunately, we just didn't come out on top.
Do you have any positives to take away from the defense? You said that you need everyone to be doing their job.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I got to go back and look at the tape and get a better idea of why some of the stuff happened the way it happened. I think, till late in the game, I thought our third down was a little bit better. Certainly there was a big third down late in that fourth quarter to Amon-Ra that was costly, that extended the drive. I think it was 3rd and 7, where we were in a situation where he was supposed to be doubled, and obviously you guys can tell he was not doubled. So that one hurt us. But, I think it's just a good opportunity to go back and look at the tape and just evaluate everything, where we're at, where we need to improve upon, and just try to take advantage of this time.